Hello everybody. I was just ready to go to bed and I couldn't, because I want to talk about the importance of protecting our bush medicine. So this is a really important conversation that we are advocating for. And it's so important that our mob need to understand to be careful who you show your bush medicine to. If it's not your own mob, do not show them. So I'm just going to reread what I wrote on the live just a minute ago, so that I can really emphasize and take you through this, because it's something that is very passionate to us mob, and it should also be passionate to each and every mob that's around Australia. You're sitting on something that is valuable to your people, and it's your bush medicine. And before I even go there, I want to talk about returning back to bush medicine. I'm so surprised how many people rely on other methods of healing. And I'm talking about our mob, I'm talking about our own people. And we want to be able to get to a point in our culture where we're returning back to bush medicine again, and then sharing it with the wider community, sharing it not only with mob, but sharing it with the rest of Australia, because that is a gift to all Australians, is our bush medicine. And so I really want to emphasize yet again what I'm saying. I want to talk about protecting our bush medicine, and I want to talk about also us mob returning back to bush medicine. And then also understanding that the bush medicine that's on each and every person's country should be shared to the wider community, to all Australians. And we really need to get back to a point, guys, and I'm talking to Black mob here, we really need to get to a point where we're capitalising off our bush medicine. But how you capitalise off your bush medicine is very important. And I want to talk about this, and I want to really emphasise, be careful who you're showing your bush medicine to. Don't show it to investors. Most times we think that by bringing investors in, it's growth, but it's not growth. You're selling out your people, and you're selling out what belongs to us, right? So I really want mob to understand that, one, we need to return back to bush medicine. We need to be able to create bush medicine that is sustainable within each and every community, and then also giving it out to the rest of Australia. Because I'm going to say it again, that's our gift to the rest of Australia, is bringing healing through methods of bush medicine. And I'm so surprised how many mob have not returned back to bush medicine. All right. And so on your own country, there is bush medicine. I don't care whether you're in a city, I don't care whether you're in the country, your bush medicine is there. You just need to be able to locate it. And then when you locate it, you need to know on how to produce it. You need to be able to know on who to trust to capitalise off that. And so this is one of the things that my Outback Bush Soaps Co. is very passionate about. If it ain't mob, don't take the people, don't take anybody to where the location is. And understand that it's one there to heal your own people, but it's also there to heal the rest of the community. And that involves all of Australia. And there is a lot of companies out there that are white owned and operated now, because mob thought that they were doing the best thing for themselves, bringing growth in, but now they don't even get any royalties, but yet they're using blackface to push it. You know, there is a lot of companies out there. And I also want to state this. If you are non-Indigenous and you have an interest for Aboriginal bush medicine, firstly, I'm going to thank you. I'm going to thank you that you believe in what we have to offer. The second thing that I'm going to ask non-Indigenous people to do is check out who owns it, who are the investors. Just because they've got a black face, it doesn't necessarily mean that it belongs to black people. And so this is a really, really important conversation. And like I said, I couldn't go to bed tonight. I was ready to go to sleep. And I felt an emergency to come on here tonight and to really touch on this topic. And I really hope that you all take it and embrace what I'm going to say, because it's very, very important. Aboriginal people should be the only people that are going out on country, grabbing it. And secondly, they should be the only people touching it. And thirdly, they should be the only people that are selling it to the rest of Australia or internationally, because it belongs to us. And we've got to be really, really, really careful not to exploit or allow exploitation to come into our culture. And I couldn't think of a better time to talk about this, guys, because it's NAIDOC week. And I'm really asking non-Indigenous people to do their research. If it ain't 100% owned and operated, I'm asking you to don't touch it. It depends on you and what you want to do as a consumer. But I'm asking you to help us, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, to be able to mass produce it ourselves. So if it's even 5% owned by non-Indigenous people, don't touch it. If it's not literally run where our own people, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are not the ones going out on country, don't touch it. Do not touch it, because it's not coming back into the communities to help build sustainability and financial beneficials. And we're not becoming the financial beneficiaries of our own bush medicine. And like I said, I felt it really urgent to come on here tonight. And I'm also going to state, because we see Aboriginal bush medicine, everyone thinks that blackfellas own it. Well, I can guarantee you with my Outback Bush Soaps Co, we're 100% owned and operated. And the information that's been given us has been handed down from generation to generation to generation to generation. And we're now teaching our family, and we're now teaching our community. And it's really important. One of my nieces, who is way younger than my sister and I, is actually one of our knowledge holders. And as old as I am, I go back to her and I ask her, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Because she's maximized in Aboriginal culture and Aboriginal knowledge. So it's really important that we understand what the process is and how and who you're guided by. And it's very, very important. Thank you very much, Priscilla, Princess. I really appreciate that. And I really want people to understand what's happening here when it comes to our bush medicine all over Australia. And there are companies capitalising off Aboriginal bush medicine. And guess what? Blackfellas don't even get a cent. And if they get a cent, it's 10%. All right, it's 10%. And so another thing that I do want to say is this is going to, I really want to be careful how I'm saying this, because people that know me know that I love everybody. I don't care whether they're black, white or brindle. I love everybody. But I'm talking to the people that exploit us. These are people that exploit Aboriginal culture. So what we need to understand is that's our intellectual property. And I understand mobs. I understand our people. I really do. Because what we want to be able to do is to be financially stable and bring sustainability for us through bush medicine. So I understand that. I understand that 100%. But we really need to be careful of when they're profiting off us. That's not a good thing. It's very hurtful. It's very painful. What we go through as Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander people in this country is appalling. Is absolutely appalling. We are below the poverty line. And some of our people can't break it. But what's really important I want people to really get a hold on what I'm saying. Our people in rural and remote communities are suffering financially. But what they hold very, very powerful, very unique, and holds the key to financial stability in community gets taken away from us through Aboriginal bush medicine. And so we really got to understand that, guys, because the majority of Aboriginal bush medicine is in rural and remote communities. And I'm very passionate about that. I'm very passionate about helping our own mob return back to bush medicine, to capitalize off what belongs to us and bring financial freedom, because that's what we're sitting on. We're sitting on a literal gold mine. And so when we go to other measures, then we miss out. And I'll tell you why sometimes our mob miss out is because they don't know how to set up a sustainable business. They don't know how and what, how to build a website, how to do mass production, how to do labels, how to do do all that type of stuff. So that's why that happens. And so I'm going to make it my personal journey to advocate for Aboriginal bush medicine. I'm going to do that because it's very easy. It's very easy for my sister and I to do that. Guys, culture isn't for sale. It doesn't matter which way you go, culture is not for sale. And like I said, and I'll repeat myself again, culture is not for sale. And I couldn't think of a better time to come on here on social media and state that. This is NAIDOC week, the most important week where we get to showcase who we are as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Culture is not for sale. And our people need to get to a point where we're in control of our own destiny. We're reaching out to people that's available for us. And we're reaching out to people and leaning on people that's going to be able to help us to become sustainable. All right. So I hope that you guys receive this tonight. I hope that you receive it with an open heart. And again, I ask all non-Indigenous people that love Aboriginal culture, that love Torres Strait Islander culture, that love who we are as a people, and you want to support us because you love what we're doing. I'm going to ask you from the depths of my heart to make sure when you're purchasing from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people that it's 100% owned and operated. It has to be literally 100% owned and operated. If it ain't 100% owned and operated, don't go there, don't do it. Because the money that you're giving is to investors and not to our people. So it's really, really important to understand. And when you bring investors in, what's happening is that they use our face to push the product out there. Now, I could rattle off 10 companies right now. I could rattle off 10 companies right now that are not Aboriginal owned and operated, exploiting our people, exploiting our bush medicine, exploiting the people on whose land that bush medicine lives and it breathes and it's waiting. You know what it's waiting for? It's waiting to go back to the original owners. Aboriginal bush medicine is not for sale. Our culture is not for sale. And this goes across the board. It's not just Aboriginal bush medicine. It's everything in general. It's our art. It continues. But the bush medicine belongs to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. It belongs to us. And we should be the only people that profit by what belongs to us. And so again, I'm going to thank you, mob, tonight. I'm going to thank you. And I'm going to ask you to repost this. I want this to go viral because I want to put on notice every non-Indigenous investor that's touched our bush medicine. It's wrong. And if you know anything about Aboriginal law, it's going to come back to you because it doesn't belong to you. Right? So every non-Indigenous investor that uses Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's faces to push money for the company that you've now purchased and put money into, it's going to come back on you. And to our people, I'm going to ask you to be strong. I am the chairwoman of CAMPFIRE Healing Aboriginal, CAMPFIRE Healing Indigenous Corporation, located here in Mount Isa. And we want to help you. If you need help, our people, I'm talking to you all across Australia. And if you've got Aboriginal bush medicine on your country and you don't know what to do, then I'm asking you as the chair to reach out to me. Reach out to CAMPFIRE Healing Indigenous Corporation and let us help you. Let us help you. All right? And we can work something out together. All right? We can work something out together so that it goes back into 100% back into the hands of the people. Because we're strong people, right? And we've made it. We're doing it. And if we can do it, you can do it too. It's not hard. We just need to come together. And if you are one of our mob out there that brought investors in, it's not too late. It is not too late. It's never too late to get back what belongs to you. And so I'm going to thank each and every person that's commented and that will comment after this. And I'm going to ask you to make this go viral because, guys, it belongs to us. It belongs to us. The profits belong to us. It's on our land, on our country. Information that's been passed down from generation to generation, and it works. And it don't matter what anybody else has to say, it works. It's so powerful. It's so important that our people return back to what belongs to us because the power is sitting in your own backyard. The power is sitting there. I had a talk to one sister last week before I go in Brisbane, when I was in Brisbane, and we spoke about, and she was sharing these amazing stories with me on the power of their bush medicine that lives in her backyard. And mob, I won't name the community, but she was talking about, sister, I'm so glad to have this conversation with you because we got this on our country and it does this and it does this and this does this. The conversations that I have around bush medicine is so amazing. A lot of our mob don't have to go to doctor because they get it. They get it as soon as that illness hits and their life is extended. That is the power in bush medicine, and I really want to see our own people return to it. If you don't know what your bush medicine is, then reach out to somebody else. Maybe if you're living in a city and you don't know what it is or what it even looks like, then reach out to the people that maybe not in your neighboring tribe. Ask them what they're using. And if all has been lost, then your mob, there's other people out there that have Aboriginal bush medicine that you can also use. There's times where I'll ring up over there to some other mob and I'll say, I need this, I need that, and I'll get it. It doesn't necessarily always have to be on your own country because bush medicine is meant to be shared. So again, guys, I really hope that this speaks to somebody today. And again, I'm going to elaborate for non-Indigenous mob that love our culture, literally love bush medicine. Yeah, absolutely. You've seen amazing results, and the stories go on. I'm going to ask you to make sure that when you're purchasing our bush medicine, I'm talking about bush medicine from all over Australia, that it's 100% owned and operated. If it ain't 100%, don't buy it, because mob aren't getting a penny out of it, and if they do, it's scraps. And then I'm going to ask mob to find their bush medicine on their country. Out here where we are, I'm so grateful that I can cross over the border and mob know bush medicine, and they're educating me on what their bush medicine is and how it works. So I'm very blessed for that. I'm very blessed that I was exposed to the process of bush medicine making back when I was 17 years old, and I'm 47 this year. And so the knowledge that I've gained over the years is absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you what, it was from other mobs, not my mob. All right. I remember back when I won't say the name, living with one fella up in far north Queensland. His father spent a lot of time with me, educating me, explaining to me all the benefits of bush medicine or what it looks like, and he'd show me. And then my dad's late sister would educate me up in Napranum how to make the bush medicine, how to take the animal fat, how to use the animal fat, and how it would move. So I've been around some really amazing, great educators. And so that's also important, you mob. You don't always have to learn from your own people. If you're open, then you're going to get the information. And just recently when I was probably about 2 months ago, walking outside of Kmart in Mount Isa, some old aunties from across the border walked up and said, "Here, bub, you know how you're doing that bush medicine, now you go look for this one, it does this and that." And see, there you go. Our mob need to be educated. Our mob need to understand. But it's also important, you guys, that when other mobs show you their bush medicine, that ain't for you to capitalize off. That's for you to learn. And that's for you to try. And that's for your knowledge. If it ain't your bush medicine, don't touch it. If it's not in your region, that's not for you to capitalize off, because then you're doing the same thing other mob that our investors are doing. And so it's really important. I hope this reaches all our mob. I hope this reaches all of Australia. And I want to thank you guys yet again. Happy NAIDOC week. If you got any questions, inbox, drop it on here. And then yet again, as the chair of CAMPFIRE Healing Indigenous Corporation, if you need help to set up your business, or you want us to come and have a look at your bush medicine and teach us about your bush medicine, and then get our thoughts, or we'll get your thoughts, and we'll have a conversation based around what you can do with your bush medicine. We're here to support you, and let's walk this journey together. Don't forget, guys, bush medicine is the intellectual property of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. It belongs to us. So let's start doing it. Let's start building businesses. Let's start capitalizing on what belongs to us and bring it out to the wider community and allow all of Australia to benefit from what we have. And more importantly, mob need to start turning back to bush medicine. Start living, breathing, and walking around with our ancestors in our heart, surrounding us and blessing all of Australia with what we have to offer, and that is what? Our culture. But remember, our culture is not for sale. I want to thank each and every one of you guys. Please share this. And like I said, I'm going to tag CAMPFIRE Indigenous, CAMPFIRE Healing Indigenous Corporation in this. Hit me up and let's start the conversation. Thank you, guys.